All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm Gage Samoji. He's Emerson Hip, and this is the Intoxicated Sports Report. Hey, they won.
It's a victory Thursday.
It is a victory
baby.
Thursday.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. And what are we drinking?
This is a Corpse Survivor number 2. I'm almost positive that we did a cocktail video on this back in the day when we were doing those.
Missed those.
Those are fun.
Those were fun.
We should try and bring one back one of these days.
Yeah, should we?
See if we can pull one off.
Next week?
Yeah.
Mine's almost gone, but it tastes really good.
Mm-hmm. Nice citrusy, little tart, little sweet.
Yeah.
A little boozy.
Yeah.
Definitely boozy. Shouldn't say a little boozy.
So we are watching Thursday Night Football, which, rare. It's actually a good game.
Yeah.
27 all. Bucks, Falcons, but of course you already know this because you're listening to us a couple days after.
Yep.
But it's, I got some fantasy implications on it. I don't know about yourself.
Right. I got Rashad White in my other league. But other than that, I think that's it.
Yeah, I got Bijan.
Bijan, that's right.
He's got
doing okay?
He got like 8 points for me.
Okay.
He hasn't broken out like I hoped he would have.
Yeah, he's been just kind of steady Eddie, right?
Yeah.
He's like a 10 to 15 point guy.
But now Dylan, who I'm playing, has the kicker for the Buccaneers, and now
Yeah.
they're gonna probably kick about 55-yarder, and I think if I heard right on the radio, he's made about 28 in a row.
Oh, wow.
Not from that, just in general. Which
Radio Jinx.
hopefully, jeez, I would love that. But yeah, Bijan Robinson, if you have him in your fantasy league, you understand. I mean, I think he was a good, safe 4th pick in the draft.
Right. I think most leagues he's probably going top 5, 6 at the very lowest. So.
Obviously, hindsight, you probably would rather have Derrick Henry, James Cook, Saquon
Yeah,
Barkley.
the way they're going right now. Even Alvin Kamara was a guy that I didn't see. And there's a fire for Dylan.
Jesus
Sorry,
Christ, man.
Are
you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, Alvin Kamara's been a surprise.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had the one really big game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's been number 1 running back so far.
Yep, but I'm still projections don't mean anything.
Yeah,
but long weekend to go.
A lot of football left this weekend. Just a quick rest in peace to a couple icons of their respective sports. Pete Rose passed away at the age of, I believe, 82 or 83. And Dikembe Mutombo, NBA legend, 58, passed away.
They both died on September 30th.
Yeah,
which I thought was, just a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo, Basketball Hall of Famer. For some reason, when I looked him up, I thought he was the leader in block shots, but that's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay. Yeah.
At least since block shots have been a stat.
Right.
Because who knows how much Will Chamberlain
For sure.
had.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or even Bill Russell, for that matter.
Dikembe Mutombo, I would say, is most known for, one, probably his voice.
Yeah.
Because of how deep it was.
Yeah.
And then him blocking shots.
And the
doing
the finger wag.
Exactly. I think of him on the Nuggets probably the most. Obviously, we didn't really watch him play. I know he was on that Sixers team that went to the finals against the Lakers.
Yeah, he was.
I think he was kind of long in the tooth at that point.
Right. A little later in his career.
But
still a good player.
Still sad. He was like more of a. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer and he was great, but he's more of like an icon, more of like an icon.
Right.
Role.
Right.
Like a figure.
And a personality.
Exactly.
Yeah,
then,
it's crazy too. It not that long ago, it felt like he was doing those commercials.
Yeah.
Well,
what were they for? Like State Farm?
I can't remember what they were for. It might have been State Farm. I know they were he was in the grocery store and he would swat things away.
Geico maybe.
Maybe it was Geico. Yeah.
Geico.
Yeah. But anyways.
And also Pete Rose. I didn't realize he was this old.
I didn't. Same. I'm with you on that.
83.
I would have guessed he was in his mid-70s.
Exactly. So when I hear 83, I'm like, yeah, he could have lived probably another good 10 years. 83. If I lived to 83, I'm okay.
Yeah. And he died of natural causes. It wasn't,
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it wasn't any major health issues.
Pete Rose, of course, 3-time World Series champion with the Phillies and
Reds.
Thank you. NL MVP. And then he also is the most career hits, at-bats, plate appearances, and games played.
Yeah.
He played for a long time. He played for, 24 years?
Yep.
24 seasons, something like that.
Charlie Hustle.
And, of course, for those who know baseball, he's, of course, not in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Right.
And it was the whole thing. He bet on baseball.
Lifetime ban for the last 30-plus years.
I didn't realize he got he agreed to a lifetime ban in 1989.
Yeah.
But didn't actually admit he bet on baseball until 2006.
Is that right?
2000 in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I just was under the impression that he got banned when that interview came out that he bet on baseball.
Right.
I thought from there on out he was done.
Yeah.
But I guess that wouldn't make much sense now because he probably would have gotten in the Hall of Fame before that.
Right.
So
yeah,
I just don't understand.
I think maybe just people knew why.
But he just and I think he even said that you hold on to something for so long and you keep a secret. It's hard to go against that,
right?
Or tell the truth,
right?
You know what I mean? But it sucks. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He's clearly a Hall of Famer.
Right.
He has a record that I don't think will ever be broken. The hits record. I mean, most of these probably won't be broken.
Unless, there's some rule changes or just, some total philosophical changes in the game and whatnot. You can't imagine that record's going to get broken.
It's just sad. And what's your opinion on, hypothetically, baseball, Major League Baseball, allowed him to be in the Hall of Fame now? You think it'd be right?
It would feel a little empty, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really bad if they did it in the near future. If it was 20 years down the line and people came to their senses maybe and put him in the Hall of Fame, that'd be one thing. But I can't. Yeah, if they did it anytime soon, I think it would be kind of stupid.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
If I were the family, Pete Rose, obviously someone would have to represent him since he's not alive anymore.
Right.
But I'd almost think I'm not even gonna we're almost not gonna accept it at this point.
Yeah.
Because you it's petty. It's almost pettiness at this point.
Yeah.
That you waited literally until he died because you never wanted him to see himself go into the Hall.
Yeah.
So you're gonna wait until he's dead.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It has to be hopefully later on down the line.
Yeah. Because
I don't 2020. I mean, I don't know how Major League Baseball in the Baseball Hall of Fame do that. Because I know you have a certain amount of time, and if you don't, you can
There's the Veterans Committee, which is kind of weird.
Which obviously Pete Rose is, banned from baseball. But I guess if he's banned from baseball, what if they unbanned him? Then would that mean that he would have a refresher on all that?
I don't think that would. No, I don't think so. I'm not sure how that would work, but the thing is, the Baseball Writers Association. Well, it's somewhat affiliated with Major League Baseball. They're their own entity. They're not. It's not the MLB Hall of Fame. It's the Baseball Writers Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's the most, because they handed out the awards, the MVP awards and stuff like that too.
So they're both. It's they're together, but not
exactly
in a way.
Yeah.
But it is sad. It's sad. Dikembe and Dikembe didn't have any kind of
accolades or anything like that.
Well, not he didn't bet on basketball.
Oh, no controversy.
No controversies. Thank you. And so, both sad, but for Pete Rose, it's man, you really wanted it for him, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think he even got to the point where he knew he wasn't going to get in.
Yeah.
But it's.
I think the Baseball Hall of Fame is probably the kind of the stupidest one at this point, and I've accepted that it just doesn't really matter if they're in or not. It's whatever you feel as a fan is what should matter. Yeah, ultimately,
and it's
if a guy Barry Bonds, for example, we all think he should be in the Hall of Fame based on his abilities.
Yeah,
obviously, he and many others were a part of this, doping scandal, if you will, that was against the rules, but we can still all agree that he was a Hall of Fame caliber player, regardless. So we feel that he should be a Hall of Famer. So why does it really matter? They're actually in.
And I didn't originally come up with this, but I think it's hilarious that you'll be watching SportsCenter, them talking about Pete Rose, right? And I go, how sad, he's out in the Hall of Fame for betting and all that, and then they go right for a commercial. Oh, and this was brought to you by ESPN Bet.
Yeah, right.
It's they're all in cahoots with each other now.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it's a little hypocritical, if you ask me.
For sure, no doubt.
R.I.P. to both.
Yep.
No doubt. We don't have shots, but
yeah.
Take a drink.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball,
yes,
MLB playoffs are underway. We missed pretty much the whole first round since we were last on, but. Okay. Really good game today between the Mets and the Brewers that we're going to get to in a second. But first things first, Monday there was actually that doubleheader that we mentioned last week between the Mets and the Braves. They split the doubleheader, so both teams made it to the playoffs. and the D-backs were eliminated in that doing. If one of those two teams won both games, Diamondbacks would have been in instead of the Braves or Mets. So that was exciting. First game was nuts. The Mets and Braves scored a total, I believe, of 12 runs in the final 2 innings, and the lead changed 3 times in 3 consecutive half innings. And the Mets ended up winning that one. And the Braves won game 2, 3-0. But then onto the wild card round, there were 3 sweeps. Tigers upset the Astros in Houston. The Royals upset the Orioles in Baltimore.
My AL World Series picks.
Yeah. That was the team I was kind of pulling for, too, which is kind of disappointing to see them go out like that. And then, of course, the Padres beat the Braves in San Diego.
Would you say all 3 of those sweeps, the underdogs won?
I would not say that about the Padres and
okay.
Braves, but the other 2, yes. Yeah. And then, of course, the Mets played the Brewers today. They won that game 4-2. Trailed 2-0 going into the 9th, and Pete Alonso came up huge with a 3-run bomb, and then they tacked on 1 more to win the game 4-2.
Yeah, I just showed up to your house. You guys were watching the game. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then it was like runners on first and third.
Right.
Pete Alonso comes up, hits an Oppo Taco, and I'm like, oh my god,
Boom, completely changed.
What did I just walk into?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's very exciting.
And the game was 0-0 going to the bottom of the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a pitcher's duel.
Okay.
But yeah, hell of a game.
I mean, if you're a Brewers fan and you're at that game, or I mean, even watching it, you're like,
Gut punch.
You're like, is this really happening right
Right.
now? You probably almost think it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
You're like, is this like what just happened?
Yeah. That's wild. That'd be insane to be in that building.
But Pete Alonso, I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't have to buy a drink ever again in New York,
Right.
but that he walks in, they're like, yeah, here, this one's on this.
Yeah. He's a free agent this offseason. So
Well, were you pushing for him going to the Giants?
Well, if I was kind of talking about it as like a potential trade candidate, considering that he was going to be a free agent, but the Mets were good, especially down the stretch.
Yeah.
So that never ended up happening. But hey, maybe Giants should go after him in free agency.
Why not? Buster.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to it. But
Yeah.
let's start doing.
Get to work.
Start doing something. You better be watching tape right now.
All right. So the divisional series will begin on Saturday. American League side, we got the Tigers going against division rival Guardians. Royals will be heading to New York to face the Yankees. Mm-hmm. And then on the National League side, we got Mets Phillies, another division rival series, and the Padres and Dodgers. National League side is going to be fucking wild.
Well, the series that I'm most excited for has to be Padres. Dodgers.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I know we're a little biased because we want to see the Dodgers lose possibly
Yeah.
anytime at any point.
I think, though, across all these series, though, that has to be the best one on paper.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say Mets Phillies is probably second, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably give Royals Yankees the nod third because the Yankees are the big brand, and then Tigers Guardians, both East Coast teams, might not get good ratings.
Yeah. That's probably going to be the least watched out of the 4 series.
So what do we think about all 4 of these?
I think probably Guardians Yankees move on in there, but it's tough sometimes for these teams that wait around for these series to come up because they've all been off for 5 days. The 1 and 2 seeds on each side, but I think the Padres got a real shot against the Dodgers. I really do. I'm not going to say for sure that I expect them to win, but I think they're going to give the Dodgers everything they can handle.
Well, they won the season series against the Dodgers.
They did.
I mean, I know that's different than the playoff series,
Right.
but it's something. It's not nothing.
Yeah,
It's not nothing.
it's not nothing.
The Tigers, they're hot right now.
They are.
They're playing really good baseball. I do agree with you. I think the Guardians will win that series, but don't be shocked if the Tigers do win the series.
It's the story of them is pretty wild. I mean, they were. I don't have my numbers totally straight, but I believe the number was 10 games out of a wild card spot with like on August 7th or something like that. That's a bad job.
That's a bad job.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then Royals Yankees. You got the Yankees, obviously the blue blood of baseball.
Yeah.
And the Royals to me, I know they've won World Series in their past and all that, but like to me, it's like scrappy team.
Well, yeah, and the Royals won I think it was 56 games last year. Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
So the fact that they turned it around so fast, I'd be shocked if they won this series. But hey, you never know.
Catcher for the Royals, is it Salvador Perez?
Salvador Perez.
I love that he went through the back-to-back World Series phase, won one, and then went through like a really bad stretch. But now he's back with them still.
Yeah.
He's like with them still for this.
Stuck it
I think
out.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's a little comparable to Buster Posey being on that field goal blocked.
Yeah.
Being on that 21 Giants playoff team
Mm-hmm.
After some down years. But, yeah, good for him.
Mets, Phillies. I mean, I know these are two East Coast teams as well, like I said about the Tigers and Guardians.
Yeah.
But two big markets and two well-known teams, you know what I mean? You got Bryce Harper on one side, you got Francisco Lindor on the other side. Two, good faces.
Some stars,
some good faces for good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
That series is going to be a fucking dogfight. I think both those National League series are going to be dogfights.
Yeah.
I mean, the Mets have been playing really good baseball for the last, 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Phillies kind of, limped, you could argue, in the second half.
Is it crazy for me to say that I kind of want it for Bryce Harper? Because he's been such a good player. And I know he's always going to have that, not subtle, but that kind of just cockiness to him. He always is.
Yeah.
But he's a great baseball.
That's just the way he does it.
He's a great baseball player, and he has gone to a World Series. And I kind of, because Mike Trout's never going to get one. I'm past that. It's over.
Yeah. He's going to have to go to another team.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, because I've always put those two in the same realm, because they kind of came up at the same time.
Right.
Close, right?
Yeah.
And so I've kind of done like Bryce Harper first. When he was early on the Nationals, it was just young, cocky.
Yeah.
And I get it. How
Really
can you not be? You were hitting dingers in Minute Maid Park when you were 16. You know what I mean? Doing batting practice.
Yeah.
But I've kind of grown to like him, and I kind of grown to like what he's done with the Phillies, and that. I feel like the team is a good nucleus to it.
Yeah.
Really good.
They've really rallied around this group, too, since he's been around.
And this team the team, since they've been good, kind of feels like Philly.
Yeah. For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They really just fit the bill for that town.
And the crowds there during the playoffs, and not even just the playoffs, are pretty awesome for baseball as a whole. Yeah. I wish we'd have more fan bases like that.
Yeah. Padres, Dodgers, obviously both for the Padres. Yeah. Although I did pick the Dodgers. Did we both?
I did not pick them to go to the World Series, no.
Okay, well, I did. I picked them to win. Hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if I'm right, it's also, whatever.
My pick was Phillies over Astros. Obviously, the Astros got bounced, which, good riddance. But
if I had to pick somebody, though, I probably got to pick the Dodgers against the Padres. Although I do think I would not be shocked if it went 5.
Yeah, I think it's a real coin flip. I mean, the Dodgers pitching staff is a little injured. And like I mentioned before, the 1 and 2 seeds have had trouble in these series already. So,
and man, if I could see another Clayton Kershaw fumbling of the bag, that would be fantastic.
I don't even think he's going to pitch this postseason. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure he's going to be healthy enough.
Oh, okay.
We'll see though.
And speaking of the Astros, I'm glad you brought him up. Is their run over? Because they did make it to 7 straight championship series.
Yeah.
Before them getting bounced from the wild card.
We'll see. I mean, this team definitely felt like not your Astros that you remember from 5 years ago, or even when they won the World Series a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Altuve not quite the same. Bregman's not he's not quite all-star caliber anymore. Yeah. Don't have the Verlander Cole rotation anymore either.
I mean, if this is the end of the run, it was a hell of a run.
It was a hell of a run.
You went to 4 World Series. You won the one in the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Losing both of those was the middle ones were tough.
Right.
A lot of people hate the Astros because of what they did in 2017,
yeah.
But they did, in my opinion, make up for it with Dusty Baker in 2022. Am I correct?
Right. Yeah. They kind of what's the word I'm looking for? But,
redeemed themselves.
Yeah. But yeah, and Bregman's a free agent this year. It'll be interesting to see if
Buster.
What he asked for.
Buster.
I don't even know if I want him.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Matt Chapman anyway. We're good. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't think Bregman's going to play any other position, so no, we're good. Yeah, Buster. Every time there's a free agent,
I'm just saying. Speaking of Buster Posey, of course, the Giants are San Francisco Giants. They are behind us on this beautiful field.
Yep.
One of the best in Major League Baseball. They fired Farhan Zaidi and named Buster Posey as president of baseball operations.
Oh baby!
What I mean, I probably should have written down what I thought. But I think I still have it. So how about you go first?
Yeah, I mean, I think initial thoughts are that I'm excited for him. I think obviously everyone loves Buster, but the obvious fact is he has no experience in this role, like not even close. Never was like an assistant GM or anything like that. But he obviously was a great player, won championships, kind of sort of a heart and soul type Bay Area athlete.
Yeah.
That, and I think it felt like a move that was done with emotion and not a lot of real thought, deep thought, by the the Giants ownership group. But that doesn't mean that this can't be successful. It just it's going to be a wait and see situation with Buster, because he's going to have to probably lean on some of the other executives in the room.
He has to.
I mean, I would hope.
He has no experience. He has to.
So it's going to be interesting. And, I mean, I hope he's successful. It felt like a move that was, because Farhan was so ridiculed by fans and even media to some degree, fair or not, it felt like a move where they just wanted to put someone in that position that really could not be hated on, because everyone in San Francisco loves Buster Posey, in the Bay Area, and Giants fans, as a whole, they all love Buster Posey. So it kind of felt like a move that was done just to make people happy and not necessarily, like the smartest move on paper.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on it.
I agree with everything you said completely. I was a little surprised that Buster took this job on, because do you think there's any possibility, and I know it probably wouldn't happen, but is there any possibility that he can do this job so bad that it's a negative effect on what people think about him in San Francisco?
I think it is possible. Now, I think people are smart enough to still, at the end of the day, separate the two things. Being a player and an executive. But yeah, and he wouldn't be the first guy. I mean, I can't name any off the top of my head, but I know there's been former, superstar players turned, general manager.
Wow, he fumbled it.
That just have not worked out.
Well, I mean, I heard some on the radio. I think Dwight Clark was for the Niners.
Oh, is that right?
I think Chris Mullen was for the Warriors.
That's right, and he wasn't great.
Wasn't Isaac Johnson for the Lakers?
Yep.
And he quit after like 6 months.
Yeah.
Or something like that. He's like, I ain't coming, or I ain't gonna be here, or whatever. And I do think that it would take a lot for people to say like fuck Buster Posey, which I don't. It's like the first thing I thought. I'm like, wow, because he is like a god.
Yeah.
In the Giants fans' minds.
Right.
I'll talk to, like, a couple of volunteers were talking to me because they know I like sports or whatever, and they're like, oh, Buster Posey, and they're like, oh, I just love him.
Yeah.
And he's a, you can tell he's a great guy, he's a great family man. I just don't, I would hate for this to have a negative effect on what he has done for the city.
For sure.
And for the Giants.
Yeah.
But I also love that, I love that, I would bet that he wanted this. And I love that he's thinking to himself, you know what, this is my team.
Yeah.
This team, this franchise does so much for me, and I want to take it and I want to make it better.
Right.
I do admire that about it.
For sure, because I do think he has an emotional connection to the city.
Yeah.
He moved away to Georgia after retiring and came back.
Yes.
So I think that says something about.
Yeah. And he's from Florida, so he's like from that general vicinity.
Yeah.
Or like. Not vicinity, but like
the southeast.
The southeast, exactly.
So I think I think he is, and it wasn't. I don't think it was just because he was, interested in becoming a part of the Giants, ownership group, which he is. I think he wanted to be here, and he wanted to be in the Bay Area, and I think the connection that he has, I think he's smart enough to say, I don't know really what I'm doing. And I'm going to try and, obtain as much information from people that I trust and people that have the experience of doing this type of job. And he's going to use that to his best abilities. I think he's a smart guy, and I have faith that he's at least going to not completely fumble the bag and just be a whipping boy.
and on the outside, This move kind of seemed like a Dallas Cowboys thing to do, and you laughed at me when I said that. But to me, it's just it's like something Jerry Jones would do. You bring a guy who's a former player, has no experience doing the job, and you expect him to just be the savior. Yeah. Didn't love that from that standpoint because I got PTSD, but hopefully we're both wrong. Hopefully things. I mean, next year for the Giants, realistically, we just hope for even a wild card berth.
Right.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the franchise is like in a totally just shot situation. They just need to find a way to take it to the next level. They've just been perennially, with the exception of 2021, which, I mean, none of those guys are even on the team anymore, really, except for Logan Webb. Yeah. Felt like a fluke. They've just been sitting right in the middle, which is the worst place to be. Yeah. But at the same time, it's not that far away from being in contention. So,
and it's gonna be even harder because the Diamondbacks, Padres, and of course the Dodgers are not going anywhere.
Right.
So that's who you like. Don't even have to worry about anybody else. Worry about the division first.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the hardest part. So,
luckily, we're in an era where there's more playoff spots available to non-division winning teams. So, I think the possibilities are there.
Can we talk about this real quick?
Yeah.
Why are the Falcons going for it on 4th and 15 from their own 20 when they have 3 timeouts and they could punt it? Can you explain that to me?
What in the fuck?
Is this weird? Are they trying to... This is...
Oh my god, he threw a pick!
That is... I mean, what's the logic?
He should have not picked that unless he thought he was going to take it to the house. That is one of the weirder things I've seen. Unless... Oh, they're losing. Okay.
Well, they're losing, but they could
punt,
pin them back,
and they have all their timeouts. Yeah.
Am I off?
That.
I mean, well, I guess if you go first, second, third down, they can run down the clock on the 4th down since you have 3 timeouts and not.
Well, no, because you'd be able to stop it on every play. Because you.
Oh, that's right.
After
3, they would be 4th down.
Yeah.
And they could punt it.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because you can still hold... You can't let them get a first down anyway, so you're going to hold them to a field goal attempt. You can still get the ball back and try and win with a touchdown.
That's fair.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at the score right. For some reason, I was thinking that Atlanta had 30 and they were winning.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Buster Posey, new POBO for the Giants.
Yeah, he looks good. I heard that he's
got to turn it into a silver fox now. You see that?
My God. He said he lost like 20, 25 pounds.
He does look slim, which I never thought he was not in athlete shape. But
that to me means that he probably struggled to keep weight on during the season.
Maybe so.
Unless he did some kind of like anti-bread diet or something like that.
Right. All right, college football.
That's probably been our longest baseball segment of the year. That's okay, though.
It's playoffs. Giants are making moves. Pete Alonso's going to be a Giant next year. Juan Soto. Bring him on.
Yeah, Soto. Dude, could you imagine him
hitting
balls into the cove?
The thing is, they're gonna go after him again, and he's just going to re-sign with the Yankees, and it's going to be...
Well, doesn't it all depend on what he does this year with the Yankees anyways?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say the Yankees get bounced in the first round.
Yeah.
I think that's better chances for the Giants than them going to the World Series.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. But, you could also say, they win the World Series and he overvalues himself to the Yankees and they're like, we're good. We won a World Series, we're good.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. College football. Game of the week. Bama, Georgia was a fucking burner that didn't look like it was going to be at first.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true.
Bama held off Georgia 41-34 after leading 28-0 in the second quarter. How much of this game did you watch? I know you texted me. I was busy as shit at work.
We were eating dinner at Devon's and the game was on. It was like 31 to
15 or something like
that.
Yeah.
I remember at the time we were like, this game's probably over.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got to, getting ready to go to bed, the game got close.
Yeah.
We pretty much tuned in when there was the back-to-back touchdown,
which
was insane.
Nuts. Yeah. So Georgia took the lead with the touchdown 34-33 with 2.5 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
And then Alabama answered the very next play of the first drive, or the very first play of the next drive, I should say.
The receiver, everyone knows this now,
Yeah.
who caught that ball for Bama, 17 years
Insane.
old. He was born in 2007.
Insane.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's gross.
When I was watching Bama play Wisconsin earlier in the season, and they were talking about this guy, and he had a bunch of long touchdowns already, and they were talking about how he like graduated high school early 17 years old, and like, Jesus Christ, and he's already killing it.
Damn.
Yeah, so he responded, 75-yard touchdown, a couple like spin moves on the play too. It was insane.
The two Georgia defenders hit each other.
Yeah, the stadium was electric.
It was. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I mean, it was probably
being in there
from going from that play to that play.
Right.
I mean, it's a roller coaster of emotions.
Right. Might have been some heart attacks in the stands somewhere.
Yeah.
But wild game. Everything that you would have hoped for in a matchup between number 2 and number 4.
Yeah. The question is this going to be a punt or a long field goal right here?
Where are we at? The 42? They gotta punt it, right?
I hope. I really hope.
I mean, because if you miss a 59-yarder, you put him right at midfield.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyways.
Other notable scores, Miami. Did you see this Miami-Virginia Tech game on Friday?
I saw how it ended.
Yeah.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, wild finish. I personally think they got the call right. It was a Hail Mary attempt by Virginia Tech to try and win the game at the buzzer. The guy came down with the ball, sort of, but didn't really possess it for very long on his way down, and I think that's what they eventually called. They did call a touchdown on the field. Some people were upset that they didn't stick with the ruling on the field because they didn't think it was conclusive.
Yeah.
It never should have been called a touchdown in the first place, I don't think. But I think they got the call right.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of Seahawks Packers
A little bit, yeah.
when the NFL had the
backup
refs. when one guy was like waving his hands and then the other
it was like touchdown.
Yeah, that was. And right after that game, they paid the refs. Yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah. Also, Kentucky pulled the upset on number 6 Ole Miss. Sorry about it, Jimmy.
Sorry, James.
20-17. Ole Miss. Sorry, man. But I saw this clip from some guys on Instagram. They're like, Ole Miss is like the most pathetic top 10 team I've ever seen. Just the way they don't turn the ball over, they go for stupid fourth downs because Lane Kiffin's a winker.
What did Blake say? High school ass looking stadium or something like that.
Yeah. I can't believe their end zones say the sip. Like, I know it's a term in Mississippi, but it's just really cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to equate that to in something that we're familiar with, but yeah. Kind of cringy.
Like hella?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, if Cal put hella in the end zone for their game against Miami. Hella. Also, another top 25 matchup. Kansas State beat Oklahoma State 42-20. Notre Dame beat number 15 Louisville 31-24 at home. Also, Oklahoma pulled one out of their ass against Auburn. They won 27-21. Had a late pick 6 to give them the lead.
Like I said, I would love to have known how many times Nick said this game's over.
Oh yeah,
because he is. I'm a pessimist in sports.
Yeah,
but Nick is a lot. He's a lot worse than I am.
Oh jeez. Yeah, for sure. I mean, what were they saying in the group chat? Put Arnold in, the other quarterback.
Put Arnold in, yeah.
And then Penn State, number 9 Penn State beat number 19 Illinois 21-7, and Arizona upset number 10 Utah to close out the night 23-10.
You know what games I catch on Saturdays are the really late ones.
Yeah.
Which aren't like the primetime ones, obviously, but still, it's. I like I said before, I like laying in bed and there's still live sports on.
It's pretty cool, yeah. Like, I got home on Saturday night at fucking 11:15, and that not that game, but the Oregon game was actually still on. They were wrapping up with UCLA, which is just it's funny. But yeah, now it's not Pac-12 after dark; it's Big 12 after dark, Big 10 after dark.
ACC.
You choose. Yeah, ACC is gonna be next. Good stuff. So Alabama's up to number 1. Texas moved down to number 2 in the rankings.
Sorry, Dev.
Yep, sorry, Dev. But it really doesn't matter. Georgia dropping to number 5 after the loss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the top 10 is all SEC and Big Ten right now, with the exception of Miami in the ACC. Yeah. Which is like...
Are we surprised?
No, I mean, especially after all the conference realignment. But I'd like a little more balance across the country.
Yeah.
The country.
What are the odds Kirk Cousins throws a pick?
I'm gonna put a high number on it. See, we got first. They're cruising actually.
They are cruising.
They only need to get probably like 10 more yards. Oh, ooh,
man.
knocked away.
Almost called it.
All right, we'll hang tight for the rest of these 12 seconds.
So it's 30-27 Buccaneers. 12 seconds left. 2nd and 10 for the Falcons.
Young Ho Koo.
They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to get closer.
Yeah, I mean where they're at. What is it? 43.
Yeah.
That's a 60-yarder.
Yeah, they don't have Brandon Aubrey.
I don't know if Young Hui has got the boot for that. While this guy's injured, we'll recap our Week 5 picks in college football.
How'd I do? Probably not. 0-3.
Let's check it out. Scroll down here. So, Gage, you went 1-2.
Okay.
You got that Oklahoma win over Auburn. You did lose. We went head-to-head on Bama and Georgia. I got that one. That was a tight one.
Yeah.
Real tight one. And then, this guy's got a history of missing field goals. 54, nope.
Yeah, all of a sudden Sean's kicker wants to miss kicks and stuff after he puts up a 20 spot last week. Okay. That's all I want to know.
You also had Oklahoma State +5. They lost by 20-something, so sorry about that one.
Damn.
I went 2-1, undefeated.
Okay.
Louisville +7. They pushed with Notre Dame with a 7-point loss, and had Illinois +19.5. Really sexy pick. Only lost by 14. Nice. Take it. All right, Week 6 picks. Who do you have this week, Gage?
Well, I purposely picked the Miami Cal game because I'm actually going to the Miami Cal.
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. Game day is going to be there.
First time ever in Berkeley.
First time ever in Berkeley. I won't be at the game day part. That's going to be
6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
Ooh,
man,
boy.
it's not going to happen.
They got to spike it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they got to get out of the way. This is going to be dicey. Wow, they got it.
Wow, 1 second left.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So we're looking at about a 46-yarder with 1 second left. Nice
And let me tell you, the Falcons are wearing one of the greatest uniforms of all time. The black jerseys with the red helmet.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders should be proud.
Were those the ones when he was there? Or did they have the black helmets when he was there?
It was. I mean, I would guess both, but I do remember him with the black ones.
Those helmets are clean.
Yeah.
I love them. All right.
So you think he's going to hit it? 47.
47-yarder for Young Hui Koo.
To send it to overtime.
I think he's going to get blocked again.
I think he's going to hook it.
Hook left?
Hook left, yeah.
Little pull.
I want to say Young Hu Koo was number 7, and then he might have gave it up to Bijan Robinson.
That makes sense. No. What was Bijan last year?
What happened?
The leg.
My God.
Just make it even harder.
What? That's a Cowboys move.
How the fuck do they get a delay of game?
That's a Cowboys move.
That seems a little...
That is... What's going on here?
Like, why... It didn't seem like it was 40 seconds from when they spiked it to just then. That's odd.
If he doesn't make this, and I'm the coach, I'm livid. I mean, 52 he can make. I think he hit a 60-yarder last week.
Did he?
What's going on now? Come on. Okay, now
they're icing him.
Timeout. Okay, whatever.
All right. So you got Miami -10, is that right?
I did not say that, but yes, Miami -10. We're going to be at the game. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Thank you, Drew and JoJo. They have tickets. Dev and I are going to go. I'm getting off work early. It's going to be a really good time.
It's going to be great.
I have not been to a game at the new Memorial Stadium. I mean, I've only been to one other Cal game in Cal, and that was when I was like 12. But yeah. But all that being said, I'm going to pick Miami to win. I'm going to pick Ole Miss -9 at South Carolina. And I'm going to go against you, Michigan +1.5 at Washington.
Nice.
Number 10 ranked Michigan against unranked Washington.
Road dog. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't think Vegas respects what Michigan is doing offensively.
Clearly.
and maybe haven't been tested on the road yet, so not respecting him on that in that regard as well. All right, my 3 picks. Actually, we'll wait for the field goal here. Think they're gonna ice him again.
Another delay again.
That'd be hilarious. It is
Nailed
good. It. Nice kick.
Wow, that's clutch.
OT, baby.
What was more clutch, Pete Alonso or that?
I'm going to go Pete Alonso, but that's not far behind. Not far behind. So my 3 picks, I'm taking Minnesota plus 8.5 at home versus number 11 USC. Minnesota just gave Michigan a run for their money, and we obviously saw Michigan beat USC by a small margin, so I think that one at least stays close. Like you said, I'm taking Washington minus 1.5. I don't really know why, but I'm feeling the feeling the home vibes.
Go Huskies.
Up in Seattle. Bark, bark. And then also going against you with Cal plus 10 in their first time hosting game day against number 8 ranked Miami Hurricanes.
Do you think Cal have a good showing?
I think they're gonna give Miami a run.
No, I mean like the game day crowd.
Oh, I'm not gonna put my money on that.
Well, you're a Stanford guy, so is that
not because of that? Because I don't think Stanford would either at this point.
Has Stanford's probably done a game day.
Yeah, probably back in the day when they would
First start,
like an Oregon matchup or something like that.
I could see it either being like crazy because it's the first time, or like just subpar.
The thing is, it's going to be so early, and the game itself is
not
at
until
7:30 p.m. So that's a 13-hour gap.
Well, I'm not worried about that because the fans doesn't affect the game. Like they can start drinking at 5 because there's going to be people who drink at 5 in the morning, probably that morning
For sure, yeah.
just so they're there, or at least get in line. I don't know how it is. Probably not
Supposedly you can go to the venue at 3:30 is when they open it.
in the morning.
In the morning.
Oh my!
That's what I heard today.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's insane.
Pretty nuts.
And also the guest picker is going to be Marshawn Lynch.
That's pretty cool.
Game, which makes sense.
Odds that he drops some kind of profanity.
High.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
I think he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
There's like no question in my mind.
But good for Cal, man. Growing up, I kind of was a Cal guy. And like I've said before, it's always been kind of silly. Like I've always thought it was silly to root for a college I never went to. Not hating on you or anybody else who does it, because a lot of people do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think over time I've kind of like thought about that idea too, and it's like, I think it's part of why I don't like look at the Stanford-Cal rivalry in the same way that I'm sure the students do,
or alumni.
Yeah, or alumni.
And that makes sense. Like I have this really nice Cal starter jacket that I got from work, and it's gonna be pretty warm even on Saturday, like during the night. I might still bring it and wear it, but like I would probably hardly ever wear it outside of that because it's hard for me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I never played for the Cowboys, but like neither has like 99% of the people ever.
Right.
So, to me, I'd feel weird if I had a Cal shirt on walking down the streets and I was like, "Hey, go Bears! Did you go there?" I'd be like,
"Absolutely not."
It was like a dream school for me growing up until I realized it was always a dream school until you realize like, oh, it's actually really fucking hard to get into Cal.
Right.
And same, obviously, Stanford's even hard to get into. I've guessed.
I think you also have to think about this that a lot of schools have 70, 80,000 seat stadiums or more, 100 admission. Not even half of those people went to the school.
That's a very good point. Well, yeah, because then I think of people who root for like Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame. I would say a lot of their fan base didn't go there.
No, yeah.
So maybe I think too much into it.
Yeah.
But I've always pulled for Cal, but I've never really claimed them.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because I've been to plenty of Stanford games with you, and I was never like, oh, fuck Stanford.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
I don't care that much.
Right.
I think I like Berkeley because it's like the first football game I ever went to.
Yeah.
And also because they're like close to us.
Yeah.
Like the Bay Area thing. You know what I mean? So.
To your original point though about not being an alumni, part of the reason why I didn't want to like rub it into Nico that much when Stanford beat Syracuse is because he went to the school. He has a lot more of an attachment to the school than just being a somewhat local fan.
But I could also argue on top of your argument. You root for Stanford
for way longer
a lot longer.
Yeah.
Than
he wasn't even thinking about Syracuse till senior
honestly,
year.
he was a Stanford fan growing up. I think because he
was. Yeah.
He had family that went there, and
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So I knew he kind of pulled for Stanford.
I remember he gave me a pair of Stanford shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. So he has some kind of Stanford connection. I forget exactly what it is. I'll have to ask him next week when we see him. But I mean, I see both sides because like if you root for Stanford like you have probably since you were 5. I mean, give or take 10.
The first time I went to a game, which is probably when it really like I felt like I was invested, was like I was probably like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't put yourself down so much. Cause, Nico went
I know what you're saying.
Because Nico went there for 4 years and has been a fan since then, obviously, because he's an alumni.
Right.
But you've also rooted for your team since you were 12.
Right.
So.
Good point. Good point, Gage. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
It's time for some Bud Light.
Bud Light. And also, I had this Elysian Space Dust IPA.
It's a good one.
It's a really good IPA.
It's solid.
It's a really good IPA. Not as good as Bud Light, though.
I think Anheuser-Busch owns this company, if I'm not mistaken.
Does it?
I believe so. Anyways.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Yeah. And is that college football?
That's it.
Do I have anything else I want to say about college football? No. On to the NFL. Of course, the bulk of the show, even though the show is going to be running long today. I was like, which is fine because
it's all good, baby.
Yeah.
We got overtime right now.
We do.
Drake London, is he injured?
Dude, he was injured earlier.
Was he? Jesus Christ.
He's had a good game on top of that, though.
Dylan texted me. He said, "So glad I started Baker." We got a couple people because he's got him in his other.
Well, he texted me too. He's like, "My kicker going off," and I'm like, "I don't even want to hear it right now." Some news out of the NFL: the Chiefs lose another receiver to injury. Rashee Rice, of course, who I have on my fantasy team.
Sorry, bud.
Is waiting on test results for his injured knee, but he is now officially on IR, so he'll be out for at least the next 4 games.
Yeah.
From what I've read and heard, that might not be season ending,
which is what the fear was initially. Is he going all the way?
Game.
Blouses. Wow. Who's that?
Did he drop that before he got in the end zone?
No, it was close though. Hodge. Look at Kirk.
Wow. Kirk Cousins Baker. Sad.
That's a huge win.
I want to see that replay of him dropping it. I mean, he probably crossed it.
I think he was past.
It was close. Wow. Bijan, you did nothing. Stop celebrating.
What did he end up with?
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see.
That's a big time win because those teams are obviously going for a division now tied. They already got the edge. Head to head.
9.2.
Yeah, that's not great.
His kicker got 16. That's gross.
Jesus. Yeah, when the kicker outscores your top pick running back, not a good start.
No, not at all.
You're doing good though. You're 3-1, right?
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah,
it's all good. Devontae Adams, his name is being floated in rumors. The tensions are high in Vegas.
Yeah.
Apparently, the head coach, I can't remember his name.
Antonio Pierce.
He's liking Instagram posts about Devontae Adams.
It's a little childish, but
I'm not sure that's what I would do as a head coach. But hey, I am also not a head coach in the NFL.
True that.
With the Chiefs, and I was going to mention this a little bit later, but like I said, well, now they're undefeated, but I'm not convinced.
It's one of the more interesting runs to get to 4-0 I've ever seen.
It just seems like they're not having fun doing it. It's like they haven't actually earned these wins.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, I think we may have talked about a couple weeks ago. They're just kind of like the Patriots of the early days, even where they just figure it out. They just find ways to win. It's not really pretty. Like Patrick Mahomes doesn't even have. He doesn't even feel like what it's looked like. Doesn't even feel like he's an elite player.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins threw for 500.
Jesus.
Tonight. Who has him? Someone has him on his bench. I'm going to look right now. Oh man, sorry. What were you saying?
It just doesn't even feel like Patrick Mahomes is playing like high level football.
No.
I mean, they're still finding ways to win, which is scary.
Brett has him on his bench, 34.2 points.
Who's he starting though?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But he did have Drake London, who had 27 tonight.
There you go.
Look at Brett. Brett's on a heater now.
Yeah.
You get Jordan Mason all of a sudden.
All of a sudden he's feeling good. That son of a bitch.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm with you. Like the Chiefs are, even though we know them to be this dynasty in its prime, they have not looked. That wasn't very close, by the way.
It wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, he's like 2 or 3 yards
okay.
there. probably, or it doesn't, just doesn't feel like they are playing that type of football right now.
No, not at all. But if there's a time to play that kind of football and still win, it's at the beginning.
Right, absolutely.
The Cowboys, my Cowboys, of course, we were...
Let's talk about Devontae. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Devontae real quick. Yeah. Obviously, what do you think about him publicly saying, I'd like to go play with Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers again? Like,
we're used to this.
I know, but it's like...
Is it because it's familiar to him?
That's like, I would say that's obvious, but it almost feels like you're attaching your career too much to...
Two different guys.
Two guys, and it's just... I think it's a little weird.
I'll tell you this. He's not going to go to the Chiefs or the Niners.
I think the Chiefs would be like the ideal
The Raiders
spot.
are not going to trade him.
But they're not going to do that. Yeah.
There's no way.
They wouldn't do that. Unless... Well, if they would trade him to the Chiefs, they would ask for much more than any other team.
Absolutely.
To acquire. Niners, I don't even see that happening. They would have to give up one of their stars.
Yeah. And I don't like seeing this from Devontae because he doesn't seem like a diva guy to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a really good football player.
I think he just wants to win. He knows he's at that point of his career where it's like I can't be wasting years on this dumpster of a team.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the Raiders are 2-2, but still, like no one thinks they're winning anything.
No.
Yeah.
They have Gardner Minshew.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry.
And Aiden O'Connell. So I mean, I think the Jets would be an okay situation. Obviously, the familiarity that we mentioned, but I think
either team is in a better position.
Yeah, it sounds like the Saints. It's like a long shot because they have so many cap issues or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's really. Someone mentioned like the Bills because they don't really have a star receiver. Like that could be nice for Josh Allen. I think he should think about that and not just like focus in on linking back up with Aaron Rodgers because it's not. It's not going to make or break your fucking life.
I heard the Cowboys were in play. Then I heard Jerry Jones said, "I like my team."
Yeah,
which is just
that you do.
Which is just it's so on brand for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know that getting Devontae is going to solve their issues. They got some other problems that they need to fix.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
All right, on to your Cowboys.
My Cowboys. They beat the Giants last Thursday. As you guys know, if you are a avid listener, they played last Thursday night. Won by 5. Brandon Aubrey was clearly in on it because he missed a kick, so the Cowboys didn't cover the spread. They play the Steelers this Sunday night. We'll get into it, or we'll mention it because the Cowboys aren't going to win that game. They have DeMarcus Lawrence out, Brandon Cooks out. They have Micah
is questionable at best, right?
Yeah, and it's, I mean,
yeah, it's going to be a tough
game. I have the Cowboys winning like 8 or 9 games, so there's going to be a lot of losses.
Yeah,
personally. So I just... the Cowboys haven't played in Pittsburgh since Dak's rookie year either.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough game. I mean, I think we both don't think too highly of the Steelers, even though they're 3-1. Mm-hmm. But going to Pittsburgh on a Sunday night, Pittsburgh can run the ball a little bit. Obviously, Justin Fields has been better than advertised.
I could see T.J. Watt 2.5 sack night. I could see that in the works.
Yeah, and the Cowboys don't run the ball, so they're going to have a tough time, getting ahead of the sticks. Yeah. And it's just
all you have to do is just double C&D, and it's like, what's Dak going to do?
Right.
So
it's going to be a tough one.
Not feel good. It's going to be a tough one. Exactly. Your Niners.
Yep. 30-13 win over the Patriots.
You said it was a must-win.
It was. I mean, if you lose to the Patriots and you're 1-3, that's not a good look. I don't care how sexy your team is on paper. I'm sorry.
I agree.
So they had to win. They took care of business. The Patriots aren't good. I think we all know that. The Niners didn't play, I don't think, their best game, but they got the job done. I think that's all you can really ask for. I thought Brock played a pretty solid game. George Kittle had the highlight reel touchdown. Mm-hmm. Fred Warner with a pick 6. So there were some good things. I still... It's not a game that you can really... I kind of feel that way about beating the Jets on opening night. It's just neither of those games feel like ones you can really judge your team off of. They were not wins that we're going to look back on the season and say that was the signature win.
But it could be the win that can propel you to more win, get on a nice run.
The hope is that they can finally just kind of snap out of it. My fear after the previous week was that this feels like another 2020 coming off a Super Bowl loss, lots of injuries, and they just could not get on a roll ever during that season.
Yeah.
My hope is that it's more like 2021 where they do like they battle through the injuries and make a run, deep in the playoffs. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. I think thinking big and thinking like one seed and stuff like that, I got to just kind of flush that out for right now and just. The defense needs to be fixed. I think it's still not good right now. They got a lot of holes, and they're not really getting any healthier. It sounds like Fred Warner had a little bit of an injury in the last game.
After having a hell of a defensive play, by the way.
Right.
He did.
Javon Hargrave is out for the season.
That sucks.
Which he
wasn't that great for you guys last
as a
year.
Niner. He hasn't been much.
It was a sexy pickup, and then
it just
wasn't
a little bit of a flop. Honestly, I think even Givens and Collins are better than him. So I think hopefully that duo is good enough.
Okay.
But they might need some more depth at that position. But yeah, we're kind of in that situation where we're like Hufanga missed last game. I don't even know what happened after playing against the Rams. Once we get him healthy and Dre Greenlaw back at some point in the middle of the season, and then hopefully McCaffrey at some point as well, which sounds like it might be trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Hopefully mid-season for him. That's when we'll kind of know what this team is all about. But yeah, right now they just got to hold it together, not let it unravel.
Yeah.
Not get to like 3-6 or something like that, because that would not be good.
It's just been a really, really weird NFL season so far.
It's totally, yeah. 22 teams have already won 2 games this year out of the 32. And so in 4 weeks, 22 teams win 2+ games. Only one winless team, that's the Jaguars, which I don't think anyone was really expecting them to be that one team.
No.
And then only 2 teams are undefeated. And the Vikings are one, which maybe if you were high on Kevin O'Connell and him turning Sam Darnold around, you could have expected that, but not really, right?
A few things from Week 4 I wanted to mention. I want to give a shout out to the Commanders. They are currently leading the NFC East. Your boy,
Jaden Daniels, baby.
Give
me that Rookie of the Year.
He's going to be Rookie of the Year. Unless
he would be at this point. I don't remember who we predicted.
I think we both picked
Caleb. Yeah, I think I did too. But
he's going to be an issue for the Cowboys in the NFC East for a while.
Yeah,
it's going to suck.
They might not win the division this year, but you know how
I think they could be I
think they could.
Give me. we don't have any shots here, but I could do a bold prediction of the Commanders win the NFC East.
Is it bold? They lead the division right now.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Like if I said the Giants, that would be bold.
That would be that'd be off your rock.
Like you said, the Vikings are 4-0. Sam Darnold. The Sam Darnold experience is working out.
That game was pretty wild, actually. I don't know if you caught any of it, but
I think I did a little bit,
they were up 28-0.
Yeah, I did.
And then they almost let it slip away.
The Jets lost to the Broncos.
Yeah, a little surprising.
A little surprising.
At home, too. But yeah.
The Buccaneers, they look good. I know they've lost.
Tough one, though.
Small margin.
Yeah.
Of that, but.
And that's what you get a lot of these days in the NFL.
Like we said, Chiefs undefeated don't look great. And the Ravens, they look like they can go on a run after starting.
They absolutely rolled the Bills.
Yeah, they did. Like, that Bills-Ravens game looked like what the Bills-Jags game looked like.
Yeah.
But the only issue is the Bills were undefeated and the Jaguars were defeated.
Right.
So I think that just shows where the Ravens are.
Yeah. And it's such a week-to-week league, you know? I mean, like you said, the Bills destroyed the Jaguars the week before, and then, the Jaguars haven't won a game yet, but then come back and just get demolished by the Ravens like that.
I did pick the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl, AFC.
Gotta be feeling a lot better about that now.
I think they can win the whole fucking thing. I know it's week 4, week 5 now, but I think, they're not throwing the ball much, but they don't have to.
Yeah. No, they have a team that can do it, for sure. See how they're playing late in the season, and see what Lamar does in the playoffs, assuming they get there. I think they look good. Yeah.
They probably look like the best 2-2 team I've ever seen.
I can't really argue with that.
Especially after starting 0-2.
Yeah. And then losing to the Raiders the way they did. The Chiefs game, that's a tough loss, a close loss.
They lost by a toe.
Exactly.
Or I guess they would have. Apparently, they would have went for 2, but that would have.
That would have been maybe the winning tying play, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, the Raiders one, that was a tough loss to swallow.
The Ravens, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to get over that hump. And to me, them getting over the hump means making it to the Super Bowl, probably. I mean, I don't think they necessarily have to win it to get over the hump.
How old's Lamar Jackson?
He's probably like
27?
26.
26, maybe?
I would say 26. That'd be my guess. Maybe younger. I wish
Kendrick Lamar.
It wouldn't shock me.
He is 27.
Okay, good
He'll
call.
be 28 in January.
Okay.
I mean, the guy's got plenty of time. Obviously, he may not have this athleticism that he has forever, but
No.
he's got, I would say, comfortably 3 years more playing the way he does currently.
Yeah.
So they're going to be contenders, no question.
Yeah. Those were all my notes from the week, or final thoughts from the week.
THOTS.
Yes.
Player of the week.
Do you have yours on?
I got mine. It's off the wall. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
He's on one of these teams. Didn't play tonight because of injury, but last week tore it up for the Falcons. Linebacker, first defensive player of the year. I've been searching for one.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I wanted to pick Aiden Hutchinson a couple weeks ago.
You don't go Fred Warner
when they lost. Yeah, I could have gone Fred, but that would have been a homer pick.
Yeah.
What's his name? Troy Anderson, linebacker for the Falcons. Last week, 17 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, pick 6, W. He's a third-year linebacker out of Montana State too. Kind of a deep cut there.
That's a great pick. 17 tackles.
17
tackles.
That's
That's like Luke Kuechly.
That's getting everybody.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. Mine's a little more what you would expect. I'm picking Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, all right.
18 for 18, 292 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and he had a touchdown reception.
Hell of a stat line. Yeah.
That is.
Lions and their little trick plays. They did a little hook and ladder a couple weeks ago.
Lions could go to the Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
The Lions could go to the
wide
Super
receiver
Bowl.
pass. Lions are good. Yeah. They I think defensively they could maybe make an upgrade at the trade deadline, but overall, yeah, they can score points. No question about that.
And I mean, why not keep it Cal? Pick Jared Goff.
Yeah, right.
I didn't even think about that, but we're gonna keep like
Boom.
that.
There you go.
That's a good. I mean, it's not like. I mean, it's a good stat line.
18 for 18 for 292. It's not like 18 for 18 for 102.
Yeah. With 2 passing touchdowns and
Yeah.
1 receiving.
No.
The receiving to me was the cherry on top.
Yeah.
I might have picked him anyways, but when I saw the receiving touchdown, I'm like, he's getting it.
Yeah.
Player of the week. And he got the W. He got the W against the Seahawks, which I know, as a Niner fan, you appreciate.
Thank you.
Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Next week, baby. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be something special next week.
Did Justin Tucker, did he score 10 fantasy points this week?
You know what? He didn't. He got 5.
Is that one time in 4 weeks now, Danny?
1 time in 4 weeks, Danny.
Oof.
You said automatic 10.
Automatic.
I'm not seeing the automatic 10.
Yeah, nothing automatic about 5.
No. You're halfway there.
Yeah, halfway there.
You're living on a prayer.
Yeah. Well, he is Danny Nichols.
5 piece.
5 piece.
5 piece. I'm just saying, you did not get... This is slowly becoming my favorite part of the show.
He texted me today. I almost invited him to come on the podcast today.
Did you?
I did, almost. He wanted to watch the football game. I was like, yeah, we're doing podcasts. But yeah, man. Tucker, he's only averaging 6.8 points this year.
That's not automatic 10.
Not automatic. All right. We're going to recap our picks from last week. How did we do? Gage, you went 1 and 2, but you did nail your $300 pick, so no net loss.
Okay.
You got the Bengals. Must win. They got that must win.
It had to.
Yeah. On my side, 1 and 1. I had a tie on both sides this week.
Yeah.
What do you know?
I feel like you're the push king.
Last year I was.
Yeah,
right?
you were, for sure.
I think I had like 5 total or something like that. Anyways, 1 and 1. I did lose $100 total. I lost my $300 bet with the Packers against the Vikings, but scored on Baltimore, easy cover, and push on the Chargers and Chiefs.
Okay.
7-point spread there. So overall, you're 4 and 8 minus $600. I'm 4, 7 and 1 minus 500. Not a great start, but they always say the early part of the season is the toughest one to bet on. So we can only be looking up from here.
Yeah. We're like the Chiefs, even though we're not undefeated.
Yeah. Right.
Our best ball's in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you got this week?
I have a $300 pick. I'm picking the Ravens minus 2.5 at the Bengals. I'm surprised the number is only minus 2.5. I know they're on the road, but
That's probably why it is. Yeah.
The way the Ravens are playing, I can't really bet against them.
Yeah.
And I know it is I would say it's another must win for the Bengals.
It's definitely a want to win.
but going up against a buzzsaw like the Ravens, don't like the chance.
It's going to be tough for them, yeah.
I'm picking the Steelers -2.5. Big shock against my Cowboys.
Yeah. Don't worry, I wanted this one, so I can't call you a total anti-homer.
Thank you. A lot of people out for the Cowboys on the road in Pittsburgh. It's going to be, I mean, it's an older rivalry, but it's
it's like
the feeling is still like I don't like the Steelers.
Yeah,
I don't.
But that's kind of like for a similar reason that a lot of people don't like the Cowboys, just like a national brand.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
People glom onto.
That's my $200 pick. And my $100 pick, I'm going your boy Jaden Daniels and the Commanders -3 at home against the Browns. The Commanders been rolling lately.
Yeah, they don't have much of a defense, but they can score with the best, and Cleveland doesn't score very well.
No.
So yeah,
Could possibly be a 3-0 week for me? Knock on wood.
I like your picks. Gotta like it. On my side, I'm going with my $300 pick, the Minnesota Vikings -2.5 versus the Jets. This is going to be in London.
6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Make sure you
set your alarms.
Set your alarms for 6:15 or 6:20.
Fantasy lineups, sets, and all that good stuff. I just don't like what I'm seeing from the Jets offense, so I think Minnesota's going to take care of business.
I think it's going to be a tough game overall for both teams because you
got to think about the lag going overseas and all
country, that kind of thing. Also, Aaron Rodgers, I would bet that his record against the Vikings is pretty damn good.
Probably pretty good. Good point. $200 pick. I'm actually going against my Niners, taking Arizona +7.5. I just feel like Kyler Murray has kind of given the Niners defense fits, and I don't like what I'm seeing from the Niners defense as a whole right now.
Yeah.
So I do think the Niners probably pull this one out in a high-scoring, kind of shootout, like 31-27-ish. But I am going to take Arizona on the points.
I heard it's going to be the hottest game in Levi Stadium's history.
Did you hear that Niners ownership? It might have been at the year after the stadium was built. They requested to not have home 1:00 start times in September because they thought it would be too hot. I'm like, that is some weak shit.
Okay,
it's just hot.
No,
you're supposed to be able to play in all weather.
Yeah,
in football, right? Snow, rain, shine.
It's gonna be hot for the fans that are sitting on the opposite side, but your bench or the
Niners bench is on the shaded side.
It's on the shaded side on purpose. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Maybe not for like the start of the game, but once the sun starts going this way.
Right.
I mean,
I don't want to hear that shit.
Exactly. I thought that's a soft comment.
It was very soft.
That's a Dallas Cowboys comment right there.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're probably not thinking about the players, but more so like the fans, because it's a deterrent to get people in the building.
Yeah.
When if you're forcing them to sit in the sun for a long period of time.
When my mom and I went to the Lions Niner game like 5 years ago, the seats were from our landlords. They 50-yard line all the way up at the very top in the sunny side. My mom got torched, and
I'm sure. Yeah.
I felt so bad. She was fucking so sunburned the whole day, or like after that.
Was that when Jimmy G got his shit broke?
No, ironically, it was. I think it was the game after. I think they played.
Kansas City. That's right. But did they lose that game to the Lions? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I remember I got a Jimmy G bobblehead and I gave it to
you. Gave it to me, yeah.
And then I think the next week
he
broke his leg.
That's right. Fuck.
And didn't you put a little Band-Aid around it or something?
I think I joked
piece
about
of
it.
tape.
I don't know if I did or not, but yeah. Good stuff.
But I remember that game, and I mean it wasn't 90 degrees, but you're in the sun all day.
Yeah.
That stadium.
It wasn't well designed. It wasn't well designed.
Well, they weren't going to do a dome. There was
no. But just location wise, I mean, it's a newer stadium that was built before like all these kind of like glamorous stadiums have come around. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, other than Cowboy Stadium, but like LA is obviously like
or even this
spectacle of Vegas. Yeah, this one
Mercedes-Benz. Yeah. This Mercedes-Benz Stadium,
something like that.
Because they also have the Superdome too.
But that's now Little Caesar Superdome.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
They changed it.
Is it Little Caesars?
I think it's Little Caesars, yeah. I could be wrong.
Anyways.
I will have to go fact check that. Don't quote me. My last pick. Taking the Chiefs -1.5 or 5.5, speaking of the Saints, -5.5 versus Saints on Monday Night Football.
It's Caesars.
Oh, just Caesars, like the sportsbook probably?
Yes,
yeah. Sorry.
Not Little Caesars. No, it's okay, yeah.
It's regular Caesars.
You were as close as you can probably be.
Yeah.
And it's right next to the Smoothie King Center, which is arguably one of the worst names for a arena ever. Smoothie King Center.
Well, who the fuck plays there?
Pelicans.
Oh, right. Louis. I forgot there was a basketball team in Louisiana. Yeah, Chiefs minus 5.5 against the Saints. Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
Should be fun.
The Saints. Also, the Saints, 2-0. They were the best team ever, and now...
Not so fast.
Or put up $60 for Derek Carr.
Yeah. I think this is probably going to be a big day for Travis Kelce. Chiefs finally win one big.
Even without Rashee Rice?
Even without Rashee.
Okay.
It's going to be Xavier Worthy going deep, Travis Kelce underneath.
Okay.
Maybe hand the rock out to Kareem Hunt. He's back.
Yeah, he was back. Different number, but he's back.
Yeah, what is he?
He was 29.
29.
He was 27.
27 before. Great number. Great number.
It is a great number. 29. I think of Eric Berry.
Yeah.
For the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Jeff Samardzija.
I mean, this arc. Yeah.
I can't even really think of any good running backs that were number 29. It's just not really a running back number.
Eric Dickerson?
28.
Was he 28?
Yeah. 98% sure he's 28.
Okay, I'm going to check right now. I think he was 29.
You could be right, actually. Now I'm 91%. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
I'm 0% sure now. Nice one, nice.
Even though I think he might play for another team, which he might not have been 29, but we're thinking of the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
29, good call.
Thanks.
Marshall Faulk was 21 or 28?
He was 28.
Okay, there it is. I knew it was a star Rams running back. Okay, Eric Dickerson, number 29. There we go.
It is what it is.
A little bit of news before last call. Karl Anthony Towns traded to the Knicks. Big news, actually.
Some of the most low-key NBA news.
Oh, they just slid that shit in there.
Like, oh, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
2
think?
weeks before the season starts. No big deal.
No.
Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and a protected first-round pick going to Minnesota. Interesting move. I felt... Not that I love Cat, but I felt like they were kind of building something there in Minnesota with that nucleus. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Guess not.
A little surprised. I agree with you what you just said, but I think this is good for Karl Anthony Towns to have a new change of scenery, because he'd been in Minnesota with scene, for so long.
Yeah.
So I think it might be good for him to go to a team
Back with Tibbs too.
Yeah, and playing for the Knicks, it's going to be tough because the
I worry about him from that perspective, like the spotlight,
like a little too soft for that.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think to compliment
Jalen
Brunson, could be great.
Yeah, I do think too. Like the Knicks had a lot of guys that were kind of like those gritty guys, but not a lot of like skill.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they're looking for in this trade. We knew that Julius Randle probably wasn't really a fit for them anymore, especially with how well they played in the playoffs without him.
Yeah.
It's an interesting move for Minnesota. I mean, you get some more, toughness type players. Dante DiVincenzo is coming off a career year. I think you could argue from the Knicks side, like, was he ever going to produce like that again? Even though he's still fairly young, but he's not like a young buck anymore. So yeah, interesting move. I think pretty equal value on both sides. Just a different package of players. See how it goes.
Does this change your opinion on the Knicks?
No, I still think they're probably like a second round, maybe conference finals type team at best.
Yeah, I would agree. Caitlin Clark wins WNBA Rookie of the Year.
Not shocking.
Well, no, it wasn't shocking, but Angel Reese did get hurt for the remainder of the year.
I don't think that was going to matter.
Because she had a really great year too, but Caitlin Clark had the superior season
for sure.
I would say from that standpoint, and it's because she started out slow.
She did, yeah.
It was
and the team did too. I believe the team was like 1-8 to start the season, and they finished 20-20. So if you think about how well they played down the stretch, made the playoffs for the first time since 2016.
I think Aaliyah Boston finally figured it out because I think she was not playing well.
At
the beginning of the season. So, congrats, Caitlin Clark. I would expect a championship out of her soon.
Yeah, next few years maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have to build a team that's worthy of it, but it seems like they're on the right path right now for sure. So happy for her. We got hockey coming up soon.
Let's go.
Next
baby.
Tuesday.
Let's go.
Season starts?
Season starts next Tuesday.
Sharks play their first game 1 week from today when we will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, he finally mentioned it.
And I think with that, Do you want to make like just a little baby prediction right now about who's going to win the cup?
Oh, fuck.
I haven't even thought about this one bit.
Oh my god.
So we could just rip it off the top.
Let me just.
I gotta think. I feel like there's a team that I want to pick, but I've been picking them quite a bit.
Let me see. I'm gonna go.
I'm not gonna go with the Oilers again.
No.
I know that's for sure.
You know what? Man, I'm really not good.
Are you looking at odds?
Yeah.
Edmonton's number 1.
Well, so 2024, 2025. You know, I'm gonna go Hurricanes to win it all
There you go.
because the odds they're not super high on the odds.
I'm gonna go Dallas. I know Joe Pavelski, my guy, is not there anymore, and I wish that he could be for them to hoist the cup as one. But I'm gonna go Dallas. I'm gonna have them beating the New York Rangers.
Okay. What are your predictions for the Sharks? How many wins?
The Sharks are going to be better than last year when they won 19 games, I believe.
Apparently, Celebrini can't skate though.
I'm not buying that. Thank you to our insider Garrett for that information. But yeah, Baby Mac, he's going to need to stay on his feet. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Sharks. I got to see what their record was last year, just to.
I think he won like what 21, 22 games.
No, I think they were
I
just
think they
shy
broke.
of 20.
I thought they broke 20.
Let's see.
No.
Let's check the physics.
I'm kind of surprised you don't know this off the top of your head.
19 wins.
Okay, there you go. Look at you. You do.
19 wins, 47 points. So that means I'm going to go with 25 wins this year.
Okay.
Which is still really bad.
Really bad.
And they're going to have 62 points. But that's certainly an improvement on last year, which was dreadful. They still don't have a good team. Like, there's no question about that. But the excitement around Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith, I think that's fun stuff. And I'm looking forward to watching them hopefully grow into playoff and Stanley Cup contenders in the near future.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And we say this every year. Got to get to a game.
We should definitely try. We did not go last year.
No,
right?
we didn't.
Yeah. Which I'm not sad about.
They suck.
They were
They
really,
suck.
really fucking bad.
They're really bad.
And on that note,
That was easy.
It's time for last call. What do you got?
so PSG, they took a big fat L in Champions League, 2-0 to Arsenal. Just wasn't not a pretty first half performance, but that's all right. It's only one loss. We got 6 more league phase games left. Long season.
Okay.
Yeah, so no harm, no foul.
Not worried.
Also, the White Sox, they broke the losing record, lost record, whatever you want to call it, in,
Glad you mentioned
in
this,
MLB history.
because I was going to as well.
Yeah, finished the season 41 wins, 121 losses, breaking the Mets record of 120. Not a record you want to break, but I think it's, regardless, as a sports fan, it's funny to see history, whether it's on the good or bad side.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball, MLB players are going to wear individual team uniforms for the 2025 All-Star Game. We love this.
Thank God.
This was long overdue. I think baseball finally realized that every MLB All-Star Game jersey they put out is trash.
They've pretty much all been garbage. I think there's a couple that have been okay.
But I think what I heard is they're still going to have jerseys, but they're going to wear them like pregame and like for batting practice.
That's what they've always done.
Okay.
I don't know why they felt the need to put them on the
Okay,
field.
I didn't know that.
I mean, maybe just to get more sales out of them, but still.
You could still put those for sale and people could still buy them.
And still will buy
100%.
them. Still will buy them.
So I am...
You know what? It's actually better marketing to do it this way because here's the theory. You sell that jersey, which is like your batting practice / it might be the home run derby uniform too. And then you have another jersey with an all-star patch on
I was
it.
just going to say that.
Boom. You got 2 jerseys on the shelf that are different than your standard one. Just like that.
I think that's great.
Listen up.
Great. Like you said, we haven't really talked about it, but we are not going to have an episode probably next week. We're not.
We're not doing an episode. I think what I think we should do is do like we've done. It was a long time ago that we did this, but we'll post a Q&A and maybe answer questions on our story on Instagram.
Yes.
And
then also maybe do our picks.
And we'll do our picks as well. We'll do that
to keep those consistent.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Nick's getting married next week.
Yes, former semi-guest of the show, if you will.
Yeah, he has been on the show.
Yeah. It's
But
exciting
by
stuff.
this time next week, we will be Middle America bound.
We will.
We will be there.
We'll be watching the 49ers play the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football at this hour.
Well, technically, by this time, you think the game will be still going at 11? No. Because 2 hours ahead.
7:15, yeah. So you'll probably be wrapping up. I'll probably be a sad boy because they're going to lose the Seahawks. But anyways.
But yeah, we will not be here next week. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
But I think hopefully you guys understand.
Yeah, and please send us some questions when I post it. I'll probably post one on Monday, see how many questions we get, and then maybe do it again on Wednesday so that people can kind of ask questions throughout while we're traveling.
Yeah, we can have fun with it and do questions on the plane.
We could. We absolutely could.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Emerson, you're going to be in the wedding.
I
Or
am.
actually, we're both in the
We're both
wedding,
in the
but
wedding.
you are the best.
I'm the best man, yeah. It's going to be fun.
And I want to apologize because I, for some reason, didn't think you would have your best man speech done by now, but you have.
I'll be honest, I've had sort of an idea about what I was going to talk about in my best man speech for a long time. Hadn't really mapped it out on paper.
Yeah.
I kind of did a little bit. The thing is, doing it word for word is just long, and you kind of lose your thoughts as you're typing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have the pretty much the full outline, at least in my head, and some of it on paper as well. So.
Okay, do you want to give it to us right now?
No, that's not going to happen. If someone videotapes me while we're at the wedding, you can see that. But that's,
no one's
that's your
actually,
best bet.
someone might do that.
That's your best bet.
And the last thing I'm going to ask is, what movie do you think is going to be on tonight?
Ooh,
I'm going to say Click with Adam Sandler.
Click. That's a good one.
I'm going to say that.
I also got to give you credit. Paramount Plus is or Paramount, the channel, is the one that we watched.
When we watched Tommy Boy last week, which we've seen before with Danny, and he raves about it because he's a big...
Yeah. It's stupid funny.
Who is it?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley,
yeah. And Chris Farley is funny.
He's funny. And there was funny parts, but when I watched it, didn't love it. Didn't hate it, didn't love it.
If we had watched that movie for the first time when we were 10 years old, we probably would have laughed our pants off.
That's probably what he did.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Click.
I think Click is... I think it's too new, but I just feel it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Click.
Because there have been a lot of 90s, early 2000s movies, right?
Yeah. Because are we now going straight to Paramount Channel? Is that our go-to now?
I think it's a fair bet.
Okay.
I'll
I'll still say Click. I think it's not going to be there, but it's just what I feel.
Let's go with... shit. I don't remember what I said last week, but I'm going to go with a safe bet and say Old School.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Top Gun.
Top Gun, that'd be good. Was Top Gun on a few weeks back? No?
It might have been.
It might have been, yeah.
Well, and also, we have to think about now, are the movies that they put on there Paramount... They have to be Paramount studio movies. Didn't think about that.
Good chance that you're right. Yeah. I'm thinking about that.
But then I Click because I think Adam Sandler does a lot of Paramount movies.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Because we've seen Wedding Singer on there.
Watch Wedding Singer, yeah.
All right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good.
Look at Sherman getting after it. Is that real? Oh, no.
I think there was plenty, yeah.
Who is that? You're getting fucking physical. Anyways, yep. So we will not see you next week, but please, you'll see us on Instagram. How about that?
Yes,
We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace.